If Draymond Green is hitting this shot right here while still playing fantastic defense, you should probably start texting your wife and ask her what's on the menu for dinner tonight. This is one of those swing shots for the Golden State Warriors, a shot that could absolutely break the game if it's falling. Big confidence by Dre, and big shot late in the game. I know in the eyes of many that Dre is public enemy number one, but it warms my heart to see the guy still balling on the defensive side of the basketball in a league where offense is glorified and the rules cater to exactly that.
Caruso denied by Draymond Green.
The Warriors would start this season 3-7, and well, since then, they've been looking a lot better. Despite the Warriors looking much stronger since their shaky start, this hasn't stopped the speculation that this team could be looking into ways to improve by any means necessary, and we'll get into that, but first, today's sponsor is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is by far the easiest way to play daily fantasy in states such as California, Texas, and more. PrizePicks is mad easy, mad fun, and it's super rewarding if you know hoops. What PrizePicks does is it puts you against the projections. PrizePicks makes games 20 times more interesting, and check it out. Today, PrizePicks is giving us a free square, making winning dumb easy. If Justin Herbert gets 1 passing yard, which I have a feeling might just happen, and Bol gets 12 points, then I'm in the money. It's that simple. Oh yeah, and if you couldn't tell, PrizePicks also lets you mix entries across sports, which is super smooth. Guys, maximize your time on PrizePicks by taking advantage of that free square and using code COOP when you sign up. Because when you use code COOP, you get your deposit matched for up to $100. So if you deposit 100, you get 100, and if you deposit 5, you get 5. Guys, be sure to download PrizePicks today. A major shout out to them for bringing us today's content. I really don't want to admit it, but I will. I had some concerns about the Warriors coming into this season, and I don't think that anybody can really blame me there. Not only did Draymond sucker punch his teammate before the season started, but the man literally shot a promo afterwards. Draymond got his promo, and Poole, well, he got his $140 million. Jokes aside, I'm still surprised about how this whole thing transpired. I know we've heard that fights at practice happen all the time, but there's nothing that could convince me that this whole debacle was just another ordinary day for the Golden State Warriors. Maybe the difference is this one got out and it was on camera, but regardless, I still don't think that anybody foresaw this coming after just winning a championship. As we all know, the Warriors were able to win yet another championship this past year, despite Manu Ginobili Euro-stepping the ultra-aggressive moves that really don't give them a plan B. I know the saying is to go big or go home, but there's really no home to go back to if you lose it all playing with fire. While the Warriors have been phenomenal at team building as of late, the roster still has at least one glaring hole, especially with Draymond Green getting older in age and his contract reaching its expiration date. There's no doubt that this roster could use more valuable size. Now, don't get me wrong, Looney and Dre have been phenomenal and the other Green has his moments, but my point remains the same. When the Warriors drafted Wiseman number 2 overall in 2020, it would be understood that they would be feeling an immediate need. Well, so far the Wiseman experiment hasn't really panned out as expected. In his rookie season, Wiseman would only play in 39 games. In those 39, he'd flash, but ultimately injuries would cut his season short. At the time that I'm making this video, Wiseman has played less than 60 NBA games. And in the 11 games that he's played this season, things would be rough, as he has one of the sport's worst plus-minuses. And what's really bonkers is that this plus-minus stat wouldn't really do him any favors in the G League either. But hey, shout out to that 24 and 13 that my guy recently dropped. Guys, I'm in no way a Wiseman hater, but maybe I am part of the problem, because I did set the bar too high for him coming out. In my head, at worst, I thought he'd be a young JaVale McGee, which, basketball IQ aside, was a pretty interesting player, and somebody that would actually be a pretty solid player for this Warriors team right now. But of course, that's assuming decent basketball IQ, which really might not be fair. At the moment, the Warriors don't need Wiseman to do much, which has made this uberly talented footer's struggles all the more confusing. Draymond had a great point on this whole Wiseman and young Warrior stuff.
One of the things I've even spoke about with the young guys is just the tough spot that they're in. Jonathan Kuminga's a 7th pick. Moses Moodie's a 14th pick. James Wiseman is a 2nd pick. Those types of guys usually are on teams that suck. and they can do whatever they need to do to improve. That's not their situation. They're expected to contribute at a championship level in year one last year, in year two this year, in year 1.25 for James Wiseman. Like, you're expected to contribute at a championship level. The reality is, if you go find the rest of the guys around this league that are their age, and you try to put them in that situation, all of the guys that we're all like, oh man, that guy's doing great and he's going to be this. The reason we feel like that is because they're on bad teams and they can grow through their mistakes. It's not quite the same for those guys. And so in the long run, it'll be better for them having played championship basketball and adjusting to everything they need to adjust to. But right now you have to grow through those with those growing pains. And it sucks because, quite frankly, we haven't won as much. So then everything is your fault and it's all coming down on you. And that's where we can make sure that we continue to do our job to win games so that their growing pains is not so magnified like they have been, because they're going to have them and it's just no way around it.
Draymond is like that dad that didn't want pets, but got them and absolutely loves them, or more so would do anything for them. The reality is that Wiseman only played 3 games in college. He's raw. Dre is right. He really isn't afforded some of the opportunity that other young players are due to the Warriors situation. I mean, look at what happened with Bol when he finally felt that he was in the right situation and truly got a chance to grow despite his shortcomings. Be it a different situation, things like this happen all of the time in the NBA. With that in mind, Wiseman has to make the best of his situation. It's the freaking Golden State Warriors. I get you were the number 2 pick and you can be doing so much more, but at the moment, you should still be doing everything that you can to make the life of your stars easier, like setting good picks, fighting for rebounds, and working to increase that basketball IQ. It's much easier said than done because the NBA is a hard league, let's be real. But try not to get frustrated, move with urgency, and just be ready for the next time your moment comes. With Wiseman's struggles, Curry still playing some of the best basketball of his career, and an inconsistent bench, which early this season has shown signs of life, like that game versus Dallas, which was impressive even if it was an L. Yeah, the bench still has a ways to go. Anyways, with all of this in mind, there has been speculation surrounding the Warriors when it comes to trades. According to Eric Pincus, rival execs believe that the Warriors covet additional size and a player like Jakob Poeltl or Miles Turner. With the Spurs season going the wrong way and fast after starting 5-2, I think that Jakob would be a great addition for the Warriors if they were truly seeking more help at big. Jakob is a do-it-all big that sort of reminds you of a worse passing but much better defensively Sabonis. Also, he's not quite the same player on the offensive end at all, but he does have some very nice touch and an array of post moves. He's the type of utility center that at 7'1" would be a great match for Steph Curry if the price was right. Getting a big like this would be game-changing for the Golden State Warriors. It would allow you to comfortably slide Looney to the bench and bolster your depth. Now, as for Miles Turner, it's painfully obvious that he'd also be a great get for the Warriors. And if they could get him for a reasonable price, this is a trade that I would love to see happen, as I really don't think that Miles has played his best basketball yet. Turner is a beast defensively. I can imagine him playing alongside Draymond Green and those shooters. Even if it would only be for a season, that would be a season where I don't think I'd want to miss a game. I think that Kerr would do some unorthodox things with an elite shooting big like that on the roster. With that said, how the Pacers have played to start the season makes me wonder if Turner is even still available. Now with the Warriors, I've also seen reports that the Warriors may be interested in Jay Crowder. Oh, and people have been trying to gas this up. I don't know, guys, let me know what you think. The assumption here is that Kerr is saying that I'd love to have you. I don't know. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As we all know, the Warriors don't have to make any move. They can just stay the course and be fine. And to be honest, if they were to trade any of their young pieces right now, they would undoubtedly be selling low, which is never what you want to do. Knowing this, my question to you guys is, would you make a move if you were Golden State? This is a tough question for me to answer, as I've been wrong before. Me thinking that Wiseman and a lot of those young pieces are still going to be really good clouds my thought process in this situation. But Steph averaging 31.4 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 7 assists does help to make my vision a bit more clear. Hopefully Kuminga and the young guys continue to step it up for Golden State, which, by the way, This guy's defense has been phenomenal. He looked like a vet against Luka Doncic, and that is not easy to do, as Luka has made even some of the best defenders in the NBA look silly. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.